Today, I'm going to talk about 21 single-player games that you must play if you're seeking some solo gaming fun. In this list, I've tried to include some titles that haven't been mentioned on the channel before, so you can discover something new to play beyond the obvious big AAA titles that most of you might already know about. So let's look at the first game on my list, Gears of War 3.
They blow up just the same. Come on, get them off it.
Gears of War 3 blends an engaging story with its action-packed cover shooting gameplay, creating a high-octane experience that's difficult to put down. Released in 2011, this game was intended to conclude the original trilogy, and the developers ensured it ended in style. This entry boasts some of the best firefights in the series, making it incredibly addictive once you get the hang of it. Night in the Woods. We're shifting gears a bit to talk about Night in the Woods. This isn't an old game, but it's a point-and-click adventure with a striking art style. If you enjoy games like Oxenfree or Life is Strange, Night in the Woods might be for you. It's not action-packed, but it's a mystery and coming-of-age adventure set in a small, beautifully designed town filled with charming critter characters. These characters are remarkably human in their dialogue and interactions. As you explore the town, you learn about its residents, uncover your character's backstory, and get drawn into a compelling narrative. The story isn't about dramatic events like a zombie apocalypse. It's a surprisingly real and touching tale told through cartoon cats. Without giving too much away, the game's strength lies in its atmosphere and storytelling. Despite its quality, it didn't get enough attention when it was released, so it's definitely worth checking out. This War of Mine. This War of Mine offers an intense and emotional experience. In this game, you manage a group of survivors in the aftermath of a war, making difficult decisions about who to feed, who to save, and how to manage scarce resources. The game is bleak and often depressing, providing a compelling look at the devastating effects of war beyond the explosions and gunfire. It's not just about the chaos of conflict, but the grim reality faced by those left in its wake. If you enjoy games that require tough decision-making, like Frostpunk, then This War of Mine is a must-play. It delves into the human side of war, focusing on the survival and suffering of civilians. The game's heavy themes and challenging choices make it a unique and thought-provoking experience. If you're in the mood for something alternative and emotionally impactful, give This War of Mine a try. As Dusk Falls. If you're in the mood for a story-based game, consider As Dusk Falls. This game didn't make a huge splash when it released, but it's a hidden gem. The game primarily uses static images and art, which might seem off-putting at first, but it boasts a strong narrative with branching storylines and impactful choices. If you enjoy games from Quantic Dream, like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human, you'll likely appreciate As Dusk Falls.
None of us escaped that night.
Though it has a more lo-fi approach and a less extravagant story, it still delivers a compelling experience. The game starts with a simple premise: a family road trip gone wrong. They get stranded and have to stop at a gas station, which then gets robbed, spiraling into a complex tale spanning different generations. The story is ambitious and engrossing, offering a unique take on interactive storytelling. Despite not getting much attention upon release, it's definitely worth considering.
Evening. Hey, Sam.
Say, you haven't seen three fellas in a blue pickup, have you?
Nope. Been here all day.
How you liking the desert dream?
Oh, can't complain.
Can I ask what brings you to Two Rock?
Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Making my way past the Castle of Fallen Foes.
Call of Juarez stands out as a surprisingly entertaining entry in the Call of Juarez series. While the previous games in the series were decent but not particularly memorable, Gunslinger manages to blow expectations out of the water. This game is a first-person shooter that offers a fun, satisfying, and action-packed experience with an almost arcadey feel. What makes Gunslinger truly shine is its dedication to the Wild West genre. The atmosphere is immersive, the visuals are impressive, and the action is thrilling. The game seems to genuinely care about delivering an authentic Wild West experience, which is reflected in its engaging gameplay and storyline. But above all, Call of Juarez Gunslinger excels in the fun department. The gameplay is incredibly enjoyable, making it a blast to shoot down cowboy bad guys. Despite its quality, the game still doesn't get the recognition it deserves. If you're a fan of the Wild West and love action-packed shooters, this game is definitely worth playing. Mad Max. Mad Max is a game that deserves more recognition, especially considering it was released on the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5, which overshadowed it significantly. Despite the general skepticism towards movie tie-in games, Mad Max is not really tied directly to Fury Road, but rather stands as a fresh interpretation of the iconic character. On the surface, Mad Max might seem like a formulaic open-world action-adventure game. However, once you dive deeper, you'll find a rich and engaging experience. The car combat is not only fun, but also unique and interesting. The game features a solid upgrade progression system for both armor and vehicles, encouraging players to explore the desolate, post-apocalyptic world they've built. The game's world feels lonely, desolate, and authentically post-apocalyptic, capturing the essence of the Mad Max universe perfectly. The combat system, inspired by the Arkham series, involves satisfying hand-to-hand combat where you can brutally take down enemies. Mad Max provides a definitive video game experience for fans of the franchise. Despite being underrated and not discussed enough even to this day, it offers a compelling gameplay loop that combines exploration, combat, and vehicle upgrades in a beautifully crafted post-apocalyptic setting. If you haven't played it yet, Mad Max is definitely worth checking out for a thrilling, action-packed adventure. Pacific Drive. Pacific Drive stands out as a truly unique survival game that takes players on an extraordinary road trip through a world teeming with anomalies. Unlike many survival games, there's no combat in Pacific Drive. Instead, your primary challenge is the environment itself, which is filled with unpredictable and dangerous anomalies. Playing Pacific Drive feels like stepping into the shoes of a mechanic in a post-apocalyptic version of Chernobyl. Your main tasks revolve around keeping your car in working order. You need to fix it, fuel it, and constantly search for spare parts, scraps, and other essential resources to ensure you can keep moving forward. While this type of gameplay might not appeal to everyone, Pacific Drive is incredibly immersive. The game creates a tense and atmospheric experience that draws you into its eerie, anomaly-ridden world. If you enjoy games that prioritize atmosphere and survival mechanics over combat, you'll likely find Pacific Drive to be an underrated gem that offers a refreshingly different take on the survival genre.
Is not liable for any entropic reconstitution that occurs to you or your loved ones should you interact with the instability.
Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm, crafted by the mind of Cliff Bleszinski, is a highly underrated gem. While some may have found the Gears of War series becoming a bit repetitive, Bulletstorm offers a refreshing departure with its focus on creative and over-the-top action. In Bulletstorm, you're thrust into a world where inventive kills are the name of the game. Armed with a variety of strange devices, you're encouraged to chain together as many kills as possible to rack up impressive combos. The environment is a health and safety nightmare, designed to help you execute some of the most spectacular and gruesome kills. The game's story, a revenge tale that's often seen as cheesy and one-note, takes a backseat to the sheer enjoyment of the gameplay. Bulletstorm doesn't need a deep narrative to captivate its audience. Its high-octane action and unique mechanics are more than enough to keep players engaged. It's a crying shame that this title didn't find a larger audience. The excessive swearing aimed at appealing to edgy teens might have aged poorly, but the core gameplay loop remains highly entertaining. In an era where games like Hotline Miami and Angerfoot have found success with similar high-action concepts, Bulletstorm deserves to be recognized for its innovative approach. Despite its lack of widespread recognition, those who did play it know it was a riotous fun experience. It's unfortunate that many missed out on this thrilling game, but for those who gave it a chance, Bulletstorm remains a standout title. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Years before Ninja Theory stirred controversy with their DMC reboot and then redeemed themselves with Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice, they released an absolute gem of the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Unfortunately, only a handful of players actually experienced this underrated classic. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a loose adaptation of the legendary Chinese novel Journey to the West, set in a post-apocalyptic future Earth dominated by machines. Players control Monkey, a wild man who is compelled to team up with a woman named Trip to help her return home. While the premise may sound familiar, the game distinguishes itself with its lush, imaginative world, varied gameplay, and a standout performance by Andy Serkis' Monkey. One of the game's greatest strengths is its richly detailed and visually captivating game world. The environments are diverse and beautifully rendered, offering a compelling backdrop for the journey. The gameplay combines platforming, combat, and puzzle solving, ensuring that players are constantly engaged with new challenges and mechanics. Moreover, Enslaved benefits from its concise length, clocking in at around 8 hours, and its focused single-player experience. There's no unnecessary multiplayer component shoehorned in, which might have contributed to its initial commercial failure back in 2010. Despite its lackluster sales, Enslaved remains a deeply rich and satisfying single-player adventure. Today, you can easily find Enslaved Odyssey to the West for a very affordable price, and it's well worth every penny. If you haven't played it yet, you're missing out on a tremendously engaging and beautifully crafted single-player experience. Give it a try, and you might find yourself falling in love with this overlooked masterpiece. Sunset Overdrive. On paper, Sunset Overdrive should have been a slam-dunk AAA franchise starter. However, it came and went with barely a peep in 2014. Developed by Insomniac Games, the creative minds behind Ratchet and Clank and the newer Spider-Man games, Sunset Overdrive is the epitome of a game that doesn't take itself too seriously. Arguably one of the best Xbox One exclusives, this gloriously self-aware, in-your-face romp feels like it's powered by the very same energy drink that transforms its city's inhabitants into mutants. The game is driven by frantic high-wire traversal and hilariously bombastic weaponry reminiscent of Ratchet and Clank. Sunset Overdrive distills the typical open-world formula down to its most valuable and purely fun components. Even a decade after its release, Sunset Overdrive still holds up tremendously well, while many of its genre peers feel dusty and dated. The game's vibrant, oversaturated aesthetic and over-the-top gameplay make it a unique and exhilarating experience. The open-world design encourages exploration and creativity, with traversal mechanics that keep the action fast-paced and engaging. With Microsoft now experimenting with releasing their self-published titles on PlayStation, what better time to port Sunset Overdrive to the PS5? This could introduce a whole new audience to one of the most entertaining and underappreciated games of the last generation. If you missed it the first time around, don't pass up the chance to dive into the wild, colorful chaos of Sunset Overdrive. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. In Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, you step into the shoes of a pair of banishers who perform rituals to summon ghosts, converse with them, uncover their stories, and either help them ascend or banish them. This intriguing premise sets the stage for an engaging narrative experience. The game isn't just about ghostly interactions, though. You'll also face off against various monsters, predominantly wolves and specters, making up a significant portion of the encounters. Despite this, the compelling story and excellent voice acting elevate the experience, even if the lip-syncing leaves much to be desired. The voice acting truly stands out, bringing the characters and their stories to life. While the game's technical aspects, like lip syncing, might not always hit the mark, the depth of the narrative and the strong performances by the voice cast make it a noteworthy title. If you can overlook some of its visual shortcomings, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden offers a rich and immersive journey into the supernatural world. Dave the Diver. One of the standout indie gems of the year, Dave the Diver has captured the hearts of many with its unique blend of gameplay mechanics and charming presentation. This game offers a creative mix of diving for salvage and exploring the mysterious depths of the ocean while simultaneously managing a bustling sushi restaurant. What sets Dave the Diver apart is its delightful combination of exploration and management, making for an engaging and refreshing experience. The game maintains a lighthearted tone and a great sense of humor, ensuring that players remain entertained throughout. Despite its whimsical nature, there's plenty of depth to the gameplay, keeping you hooked as you juggle the various aspects of diving and restaurant management. Dave the Diver is definitely worth checking out for its innovative and enjoyable gameplay. Atomic Heart. When discussing games with a distinctive flair, Atomic Heart certainly stands out. This first-person shooter draws inspiration from BioShock, but carves its own path in a bizarre, futuristic Soviet society. The narrative centers around robots, initially designed to assist humans, going haywire and wreaking havoc. You, as the protagonist, must navigate this chaotic world through a combination of shooting, blasting, and puzzle solving. While Atomic Heart is not without its flaws, it remains a compelling experience. The open-world design has its shortcomings, and there are moments that feel odd or less engaging. However, the game compensates with intense boss battles, satisfying weapon mechanics, and an outstanding soundtrack. The true charm of Atomic Heart lies in its incredible art and environment design. The aesthetic is both captivating and unsettling, making the journey through the game a memorable one. Despite its imperfections, Atomic Heart offers a unique and intriguing experience that stands out in the crowded landscape of first-person shooters. If you're looking for something different and are willing to overlook some rough edges, Atomic Heart is worth a try.
It's just a suggestion. Well, guess it can't hurt to try. It's not like we've got a lot of other options. Tereshkova, where's the
Dead Space Remake. Released early in 2023, the Dead Space remake shouldn't be overlooked. It's a fantastic reimagining of the original Dead Space classic from 2008. The developers have completely overhauled the game, enhancing it in numerous ways. The gameplay is smoother, the graphics are stunning, and various small tweaks have been introduced to keep the experience fresh. A few cutscenes have been altered, and the gameplay flow has been adjusted in certain environments, adding new layers of interest. Despite these changes, the core essence of the original game remains intact. They managed to avoid ruining or butchering anything that made the original great, making it a wonderful way to relive the Dead Space experience. As for the future of the franchise, it's uncertain. The success of this remake could pave the way for a brand new Dead Space game, utilizing this updated formula and vibe. For now, fans of the series can enjoy this polished and faithful remake, hoping it sparks a new chapter for the beloved horror franchise. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Next on the list is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Respawn's Star Wars Fallen Order. Continuing the journey of Cal Kestis, this game introduces new conflicts and antagonists, an expansive open hub area, and a plethora of planets to explore. One of the standout features is the addition of multiple fighting stances, allowing players to customize their combat style. Whether you prefer a heavy crossguard lightsaber, dual lightsabers, a staff, or a lightsaber and blaster combo, you can tailor your experience to live out your own Star Wars Jedi fantasy. The customization options for Cal, combined with the new adventure, provide a fresh and engaging experience. While the game leaves players curious about where the story will head next, it remains a solid and enjoyable playthrough. The question of whether it's better than the first installment is up for debate, as Jedi Fallen Order was a surprising and refreshing adventure, while Jedi Survivor is undeniably a bigger and bolder sequel. Ultimately, it's just nice to have good Star Wars games again, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor delivers a fun and immersive adventure in the beloved universe. RoboCop Rogue City. Everyone should appreciate RoboCop. He's one of the most iconic characters ever, and he recently made a comeback with Rogue City. This is the first RoboCop game in quite some time, and it does a commendable job of capturing the essence of the classic 80s movie. The game understands what makes RoboCop special, and why he has been a beloved character for decades. While Rogue City is not without its flaws and leans more towards being a AA game rather than a full-fledged AAA title, it offers a fun and over-the-top first-person shooting experience. You'll find yourself enjoying the classic video game action of exploding heads, throwing explosive barrels, and immersing yourself in the chaotic fun. Though it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it's a nostalgic treat to see the classic actor Peter Weller reprising his role as RoboCop. His presence adds a layer of authenticity and charm to the game, making it a must-play for fans of the character and those looking for a solid, action-packed game. Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment delves into significant issues like bullying and harassment as you navigate the complexities of solving an impossible murder. As a game from RGG Studios, it offers addictive combat and sharp visuals, creating an engaging experience.
This race is mine. Let's fly!
But that's not all. Lost Judgment is packed with a variety of activities to explore within its rich world. From dancing and skateboarding to stealth missions and boxing, there's a plethora of things to uncover and enjoy. And if you ever want a break from the main storyline, you can always head to Yagami's office and play classic Sega Master titles.
They said to tell you, this is your final warning.
The game combines serious, thought-provoking themes with a vast array of entertaining side activities, making it a compelling addition to the Judgment series and a must-play for fans of action-adventure games. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Machine Games delivered an outstanding sequel with 2017's Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. This game takes everything that worked in the New Order and cranks it up to 11. The first-person shooting is as chaotic and exhilarating as ever, with BJ Blazkowicz now able to dual-wield machine guns, creating a whirlwind of destruction. You can also adopt a stealth approach to silently take down enemies and prevent reinforcements, adding a layer of strategy to the intense action. The dynamic gameplay loop, combined with varied mission locales, keeps the experience fresh and engaging. The New Colossus is a thrilling ride from start to finish, maintaining the high-energy action and storytelling that fans of the series have come to love. Jacint. Next up, we have Jacint, a game that seems to have hit the jackpot with its blend of surprise and brilliance, captivating players from the very start. Jacint is a game of two halves. One part is a puzzle-like journey requiring careful planning and maneuvering, while the other part is an adventurous exploration of its rich setting and backstory. What's truly remarkable about Jacint is how it effortlessly balances its themes and visual storytelling without ever feeling weighed down by a desire for grandeur. Instead, it cleverly tinkers with three-dimensional space, employs expertly handled color palettes, and maintains a sense of progression that challenges players without punishing them excessively. This is undoubtedly a testament to Dontnod's prowess, possibly their finest work yet. Jacint stands as a shining example of mechanics and presentation working in perfect harmony, offering players a brilliant and engaging experience that's hard to forget. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. One thing I absolutely love about the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is that it brings together 3 incredible Mass Effect games in one package. This edition offers a visual overhaul that makes the games more immersive and up-to-date with modern generation graphics. However, the visuals are far from the only reason to recommend this collection. Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes packed with a wealth of content, including over 40 single-player DLCs. The aiming and combat mechanics have been refined, the controls updated, and various gameplay elements adjusted to improve consistency across all 3 games. Despite these major improvements, the game stays true to its roots, offering a nostalgic experience for returning players. The Mass Effect franchise is renowned for its storytelling, where your choices have both micro and major impacts throughout the entire universe, for better or for worse. This edition retains that hallmark, making it one of the best storytelling experiences in gaming history. For both new players and veterans, Mass Effect Legendary Edition is a must-play, and undoubtedly one of the best on this list. The Quarry.
I thought I told you kids to check everything.
Look, it's not that big of a deal, okay? We'll just spend one more night here.
No!
From the developers behind the Dark Pictures anthology and the critically acclaimed Until Dawn, The Quarry builds on their established formula and takes it to new heights. This game embraces the goofy, schlocky horror genre, delivering both tension and dread alongside lovable characters you'll enjoy watching get systematically targeted by the villains.
What if we're out partying tonight? In the woods, and we end up in Most Dangerous Games of
The Quarry is a game that revolves around quick time events, dialogue choices, searching for clues, and engaging with your fellow camp counselors. It provides an enjoyable, tongue-in-cheek horror story that can unfold in a variety of ways depending on your decisions. Visually, The Quarry is stunning, with high-quality graphics that enhance the overall experience. If you enjoyed Until Dawn or any of the developer's previous titles, this game is definitely worth your time. It's not just about surviving the night, it's about enjoying the ride through a well-crafted horror story that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Well everyone, that was all for this video. I hope you find some newer games to add to your playlist and have a great amount of fun with them. Anyways, have a good day and see you later.